Alright, so for this video I will be commenting over a showcase for the DPS Vindicator low APM build. This is a Pug Aetherblade Hideout normal mode that I had a few weeks ago, and I feel like my performance was pretty good for a class that's that simple to play. The encounter itself is pretty easy and straightforward, and I have already, of course, done it countless times before then, but I feel like there's still quite a lot for us to go over, and I will be explaining some of my decision making and how I use my skills. Well, the boss fight starts, and as always, the boss does like a series of evades, so I essentially delayed my opener, because missing my skills is very huge for my DPS, right? I do not want to miss that. Essentially, I'm pressing 3 buttons, so if I miss 2 of them, my DPS is much lower. So you can see I'm essentially trying to follow the same golem rotation, except that more often than not, there will be downtime on my DPS, so I will have more energy than usual. I'm not delaying my skills. I want to kill the ads as fast as possible, so I can resume attacking the boss. The boss, as always, moves all over the place, and if you're not careful, just like I am, you get CC'd. I could have blocked it with Greatsword 4, which is something that I will try to do more often in the future. As you can see, I'm just damaging the boss as usual. The boss is phasing pretty quickly because even though DPS is kind of low, normal mode is not that difficult. I would say it's pretty straightforward. I'm trying to maintain a little bit of my energy, just so I can fit a Greatsword 5 before swapping back to Shiro. And now we have the CC ad. I brought a staff to this fight because there's no point in DPSing this guy down, since he dies when you break the bar, and staff has a lot of CC. So I basically swap to staff, CC, and then swap back to Greatsword. The boss is back, you resume your rotation. You can notice that I'm not using Greatsword 2 at all, I'm just literally auto-attacking, dodging, and pressing Greatsword 5. And my Trin is very small hitbox, right? So Vindicator, like, my DPS will be lower since, as I said in other videos, Greatsword 5, the damage scales with the size of the hitbox. Echo of Scarlet, I have a feeling that the hitbox size for her is a little bit larger, so I feel like it does better. But as you can see, I'm again just following the rotation. You start the fight with Scarlet with a lot more energy because, well, once again, there's downtime, there's no point in you having possible odds or vengeful hammers up. Here you can see that I use Greatsword 4 to block the waves, and it multi-hits. As I also said in another video, Greatsword 4 can stack up to 5 times, and that's a big damage skill as well, should you get all the 5 stacks. That's like really huge. I didn't end up using it there because the boss phased, otherwise I would have pressed. Here you can see again I blocked it, and then I used the skill for quite a big chunk of damage, and then we are once again back at the CC. I could have already swapped to staff earlier there. I got a blue mechanic, and as you can see I had super speed as well, so I ran away really fast. You are not really bound by your dodge range when you are on the Vindicator. You can run super far, super fast. If you have super speed, impossible odds, swiftness, things like that, you go farther. But a lot of the times I will be just moving to places or maybe using utility skills. You can see again I'm blocking and pressing Greatsword 4 to avoid a little bit of the damage. Other than that, it's just auto-attacking Greatsword 5 and dodging, right? Here, as a good commander, I'm marking the safe spot for our beloved pugs to stand on. We do not want anyone dying in this phase. And once the boss are back, you can see I am at 100 energy again. I popped impossible odds earlier. There's not really a reason for that. It's just because I was a bit lazy. But as you can see, I barely swapped into Jalis this entire time. I once again blocked the wave and used the skill for a big chunk of DPS. Here we have someone failing the mechanic and like nuking the group, as usually happens in pugs, which is okay. It's, pugs. You can avoid all the damage and still hit like your skills, even though you're full melee, right? Like the greatsword range is pretty big for a melee weapon. Here I swapped once again into Jalis. I'm trying to focus on killing the ads so they, die faster and don't damage the group. Other than that, big damage on the big ad. I don't know why I'm using road here, just to drain the energy a little bit. It kind of helps. If people have like real skills that do like real finishers, they apply vulnerability so you kill the ad faster. And in some cases also good to use on the CC ad because sometimes they have leaps, and leaps plus lightning fields, and road is a lightning field, you can CC, right? It's like a second of days or something like that. I'm very limited in CC. It's essentially, well, a staff, right? Staff 5. I could use Jade Winds since like I have a lot of energy in this fight. I'm just being a bit greedy for no reason. You can see that I'm like almost doubling everyone else's DPS and I'm barely doing anything, right? I'm mostly auto-attacking, dodging, and pressing Greatsword 5. Occasionally I press, Greatsword 2. And I guess other than that, another CC that you have, which is a really good skill that people do sleep on a lot, is chains on Jalis, right? The one that you throw like a chain. That one takes like 125 CC per second for like 4 seconds or something. So it's a pretty good chunk of CC. Once again, the boss will be back. I'll do the same. So like I'm basically repeating the opener over and over, right? Every phase you do the usual dodge, impossible odds, greatsword 5. I could be using greatsword 2. I'm just being lazy and not pressing it. I'm pretty sure in this specific encounter here on the log I had like 13 actions per minute, and I actually got like a really nice number, I would say, especially for a pug and for a class that I myself am not really experienced on. As always, I hope the video was helpful, and if you need anything or have any questions, feel free to hit me up on the comments.